Hello, Michael Tillinger here. Welcome to another frequently asked questions session about one small town, contributionism, and all the things that go into making this a success. In this video, we deal with the question, what do I get in return for my 3 hours per week contribution? What do I get in return for contributing 3 hours a week of my time towards one of the activities in our community? The answer to that is very, very simple. Everything that we do, everything that we've created as a business, a community project that falls under the One Small Town umbrella, whether it's growing food, bread, milk, cheese, butter, whatever it is that we do. Electricity, obviously, if we do find initial funding to install our electricity device, etc., etc. Everything that we do that belongs to us as a community, or that we are co-owners of and co-shareholders of, we get for free. Obviously, there's an initial period that the launch and the setup will be required, where everybody needs to work together to make the business self-sustainable. It might be 2 or 3 months, or sometimes 6 months, maybe a year, who knows, hopefully not more than that, but hopefully as quickly as possible. With some of the products and items and produce, the turnover and the return is a lot quicker than in other industries. If you're growing citrus, for example, obviously we can't get oranges at certain times of the year, and we can't get bananas another time of the year. So everybody will realize that some of the products and produce and services and goods that we create and manufacture or grow and build will only be available at certain times. So whatever it is that we do is available to everyone all the time. Now, the question is, well, how will that be available? The answer to that is still open-ended. What we might do is provide the stores in our community with the produce that we create to sell. But if you have an Ubuntu or a One Small Town card, keep in mind that we know how technology works. We understand how blockchain works. Everything will be run as efficiently as possible. We'll use the best possible technology to identify who's eligible, who's contributing their 3 hours a week, who can go and get this or that. So we could create a system that works very basically, almost like a credit card, so that once you've given your 3 hours a week, you're allowed so many potatoes and so many onions and so many pumpkins and so many laptops and so many nail clippers and whatever it is that we do, and so many horse rides and so many haircuts and whatever it is that we have, and have your car serviced once a week or once a month or once a year. You understand the concept. It's really not very complicated. We will put the plan into place. We as a community, through the Council of Elders and through logical needs of society, will put these structures into place. Obviously, it has to be reasonable. This is not going to be unreasonable. No, people can't demand a bag of potatoes every week, because that's going to be completely unreasonable. We also need to put things in place that people that contribute their 3 hours a week can't just go and raid a store or the Ubuntu One Small Town warehouse and take whatever they want and then go and sell it on the market somewhere in another town and bring back the money. All these structures will be put in place so that nobody can abuse it. It's a very simple system. You're allowed access and to get whatever it is that we create, all the services, products, goods that we create, but in a controlled fashion, in a reasonable controlled fashion. I hope this makes sense. Just because you work 3 hours a week in the engineering shop, for example, doesn't mean now that you only can get products that we make in the engineering shop. No, you've contributed 3 hours towards the well-being of the entire community. You've contributed towards one of the components and facets that make the community strong. Or whether you've worked for 3 hours sweeping the streets or cleaning the park or planting seedlings or looking after children in the kindergarten, or whatever it is that you've spent this week doing for 3 hours, you've contributed towards uplifting and helping your community. So therefore you have access to everything that we do. And this is why when we set up a business, our first objective is to quantify And again, we're not stupid. We know how this works. We understand how to use computers and AI and blockchain technology. I keep using that because that's the most frequently quoted thing right now when we talk about how we're going to manage this, is blockchain technology, right? So intelligent, technology that will figure out how much we need, how many potatoes do we need to feed our community every year. And then we go out and we make sure we plant at least 3 times as many potatoes as we need to feed our community. So that we have 1/3 to feed our community, and the other 2/3 is the excess. That's what we sell to the rest of the world. And that applies to everything we do. Whether it's computers, potatoes, horse rides, haircuts, whatever it is. So try and apply that when you think about this. What it is that you're going to benefit? What am I going to get in return for my 3 hours a week? Everything you can imagine, and everything that we as a community choose to do for ourselves. So this more successful and more diverse our community and our town becomes in what it is that we do for ourselves, the more access we'll have to everything we could possibly imagine. That includes sports, arts, culture, horse rides, haircuts, as I said, recording studios, movies, racing cars, you name it. If you come up with an idea that is feasible and that will benefit the community, then the community, through the Council of Elders, will most likely decide to implement that as a business. So what was once your hobby, whether it was racing cars or rebuilding old messed up cars, or being a sculptor, whatever it is that you do as a hobby may end up being a serious community business that you are the driver for, you are the driver of, that was funded by the community collectively, that you're now the custodian and the creator of that business. So once this One Small Town initiative launches, the sky is the limit. There's nothing that we cannot do. If we choose as a community to do that, we will do that because we have the people, the talent, the skills, the manpower, and the funding to make it happen. So, what do I get in return for my 3 hours per week contribution? Anything imaginable that we do in our town. I hope that gives you a better insight into how powerful this simple model is. Until next time, this is Michael Tellinger. Bye for now.